So how did I get from this to this? This is how I did it. Why the violin, you ask? About 4 years ago, I was minding my own business, aimlessly watching some videos on YouTube, and I came across this. And that is how I fell down the rabbit hole of two sad violin videos. And the more I watch, the more I want to be just like him. So I decided to finally make use of the violin that my friend borrowed me 2 years ago. A little bit of disclaimer here. I know how to play the piano and also the drums. So I already have the knowledge of note reading, rhythm reading, music theory.
Yeah, the super ultra hyper mega meta Lydian. You know?
No, I don't know, Jacob Kalaya. I don't know. I don't know how your brain functions, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Just stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
I also have the ability to clap on 1 and 3 without throwing up.
Get some help.
Through my many years of musical learning journey, I have learned the best way to learn an instrument. These are the methods that helped me the most. Think about all the times you're supposed to do something but find yourself procrastinating. What is the root cause of this? For me, it's motivation and discipline. Motivation can be split into intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation refers to actions driven by internal rewards, and extrinsic motivation refers to actions driven by external rewards. In my experience, intrinsic motivation has done absolutely nothing for me. I tend to rely heavily on extrinsic motivation. Since my aim is to grow this YouTube channel, I have decided to post YouTube shorts daily to get my external reward, which is more subscribers. Now, how do I ensure that I have quality practice every day? Due to my Asian background, all of my achievements are motivated through fear. Since I am self-taught, I need an authoritative figure to make sure that I do my work. And so, I asked for help from the wise masters of Reddit. I posted my daily practice on the Ling 40 Hours subreddit to make sure that I'm being held accountable by a bunch of music enthusiasts. This has proven to be quite effective because by the second day of posting, I have received quite a number of constructive criticisms and comments. This has worked well for me because my fear of disappointing others has been deeply ingrained within me the second that I was born, and I tie all my achievements to my entire self-worth, therefore making me deeply terrified with the thought that anyone would find me lacking in any department, especially in an area that I was most confident in. Therefore, I will try my hardest to not make any mistake, because if I hear one criticism, I'm gonna crumble and fall and lose every ounce of confidence I have left to live in this world. I'm gonna call my therapist. Anyway, these are the things I've learned in week 1. Learn how to prep my instruments. I took an embarrassing amount of time to learn how to put on a shoulder rest. And I'm also very disgusted by the possibility of violin strings breaking and hitting me on my face. So this is me making sure that my bow is straight every time I play, but in my opinion, this is honestly too homophobic. It's 2022, we should normalize non-straight bowing.
Talk, Valentina. Ally.
Trying not to skid on the violin. I learned how to string cross between A and E string. And I'm already using 3 fingers on my first try on the violin. If fear-based method is not your cup of tea, try this method instead. I like this method because I am a lazy person and I literally do not have to do anything but just to lie on my bed and watch videos and being delusional at all times. I've noticed that the easiest way for me to absorb information is simply by not trying. According to the wise words of my Lord and Savior Natalie Tran,
never try, never fail.
If I force myself to remember certain information, chances are they will not be absorbed into my long-term memory. This explains how I can quote any chick flick movies out in the 2000s. What a beautiful chocolate man! And still struggle to remember what is the police's phone number in my own country.
Oh my god, he's dying! Call 911!
What's the number?
By the way, it is not 911 if you're Malaysian like I am. The number is actually... just Google it yourself, okay? My god, why do I have to do everything around here?
That is so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
The amount of information I've retained through my years of watching two-set violin is astounding.
The wood should remain a curve. To make sound, you need weight, also both speed.
Just enough to fit your pinky in.
Ooh, not the fist grip. Blow into the hole.
General direction of the movement of the left hand.
Middle guys, bow isn't even done up.
They're not even trying.
I like how Brad already predicted a few years ago that Nat Fulmer is a piece of shit. That's right, try harder, Nat. My god, you're embarrassing. I also like to watch violinists playing the most complicated pieces and imagining myself being the one who's playing them, playing solos, giving masterclass. I'm the queen of maladaptive daydreaming. Being a maladaptive daydreamer helps me in maintaining a positive motivation and helps me to temporarily forget about all the PTSD I've gotten from my childhood memories. And of course, YouTube tutorials helped a bunch too. By the end of second week, this is what I've learned. There are more complex coordination work between my right and left hand. I've added in the D string. And also adding in the fourth finger. Trying to play good slurs. Staccato. Playing more scales and arpeggios. And more complex rhythm in general. If you grew up thinking that practice makes perfect, I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice made perfect. And also Ed Sheeran made perfect.
I found a love.
What that means is you have to plan your practices. As I'm one step closer to my dream of being this guy right here, the pieces I'm learning are also getting harder. This also means that I need a longer time to digest and learn a piece, and I have to control myself to not get too excited, trying not to bite more than I can chew. Don't try to be in your cartwheeling Fergie era when you're actually still in your Star-Spangled Banner Fergie era, you know? So break down your pieces before you break down. For example, in learning this piece, I started with learning the notes as well as the bow movements. Then I practiced string crossings with open strings, no left hand yet. once I've gotten the hang of how my right hand is supposed to move, then I add in the left hand. I usually start with playing really slowly just to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing before trying to move on to play a faster speed. And I use the same method to practice for my next phrase. My aim for that day was actually just to learn 4 bars, and that was exactly what I did. By the end of 3rd week, I learned how to string cross with the same bow, and finally played on the G string. By the way, I just realized this, but in my final cover at the end of the video, I haven't been bowing the G string straight. So this is a reminder for everyone watching to practice with a mirror. There are not much new things this week except to work on my intonation and my wrist flexibility. And also, I have decided to take on a challenge to learn Libertango for the remaining 10 days. What if things don't go as planned? When I was trying to learn Libertango, I did everything I was supposed to do. I told people I'm learning Libertango for accountability.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I'm absorbing a lot of passive input by watching others playing Libertango. I'm watching tutorials. I also managed to find an easier version of Libertango that I thought I would be able to play. But sometimes things don't go as planned. I started by listening to the piece and mentally taking note of the difficult areas.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
As I practiced through the piece, I tried to simplify those areas to something that I can handle. For example, I knew I couldn't hold this note for long, and so decided to do it in 2 strokes instead. This area requires me to shift to the 3rd position, which is something that I've never done before, so I decided to bring it down an octave.
Why?
I did, however, want to challenge myself to play in the 3rd position towards the end of the piece. This part right here requires me to do a huge finger stretch, which I was unable to do, so I played it on a 3rd position instead. Now that the 30 days are up, I hope you guys enjoy my rendition of Libertango. It's not the best take, but it's a realistic take. So thank you for watching, and bye!